All right, we have lots of info here about the upcoming Xbox showcase, as well as some new features being announced and launched here by Xbox. What games are we going to see? All of that stuff. So cool stuff to go over there. We also have information here for Summer Games Fest, all the partners that will be showing up. CD Projekt Red had their financials and lots of info on the next upcoming Cyberpunk, kind of where they are with that game. An interesting article here about MindsEye, something we talked about yesterday, and some of the reasons why there potentially is negativity on it if you do want to believe what is being sold here. Apple bought a studio. They're looking to get more into gaming. So we have all of that plus some other things. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy daily gaming news content, make sure to hit the subscribe, share the video, like it. Really helps get my channel out there to more people and helps the channel grow. So I really do appreciate it. But for now, let's jump into it. So as we know, the Xbox showcase is just around the corner here on June 8th. It's coming up fast, and it is going to be very exciting. The last few years from Xbox and their showcase, they have basically, I would say, dominated these showcases in the summer. They have blown people away with what they have shown off. I would say it's really not even close comparing the Xbox showcases to other showcases. It's been better than Summer Games Fest and anything else that has been out there. And I think a lot of this also has to do with the shutdown at E3, where you don't really see PlayStation and Nintendo taking the Summer Games Fest seriously and coming out with the big event. And it looks like it's going to be another year of that, as Xbox Game Showcase is going to be, I believe, the major highlights of this year's summer showcases. What are we going to see here? That is the question. We do have a couple of hints here, potentially from Jez Corden and Windows Central, of some stuff that could be showing up. We also have some info on Everwild, a game that I do hope finally gets another reveal here. It's 2025. This game was revealed a long time ago. We need to see more about it, but here is some of the interesting stuff pulled from this article. The Xbox Showcase 2025 preview, and it's what I expect to see from Microsoft's big annual games blowout. Some of the stuff we already know that is happening. That is one of the main things that you can definitely look forward to. We're going to see Outer Worlds 2, a lot more on that game. We have already known that games are coming over to PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch. So, games like Gears of War Reloaded, we may see more of that at the showcase. We may see Xbox emphasize some games here that are going to be dropping onto Xbox Game Pass. That's one of the things that I've thought about recently, is that we've had already tons of announcements for Game Pass. They're still coming out with new games that are dropping into Game Pass, such as the Space Marine remastered game. And we aren't even at the showcase yet. So they may have new announcements and highlight stuff coming out further along in the year for the second half of 2025 of games to look forward to in the service, because the first half has been phenomenal. You have to ask yourself, how are they going to keep this up for another 6 months of it being this strong? And I think they must have a plan up their sleeve, and June 8th is going to reveal that. So that's stuff that we kind of already know and should expect, but there are other games here like Everwild, which I actually think it is finally going to show up at the showcase for, simply because we've been hearing more positivity around it. We have another article here where they feel strong about the game. So it sounds like they're kind of ramping up and getting ready to show it off and get people excited to see what this game is all about. Very interested in what is coming here from Rare. Obviously, after the massive success of Sea of Thieves, they're going to have a lot to live up to here with Everwild. The other thing that is interesting is we do know there's lots of games like Contraband. We still need to see that one. Who knows what's happened with that one? That's a third-party deal game, but it is here being published by Xbox. State of Decay 3 we may end up seeing. But one game that has been in the rumors, and it would blow me away if this does come out this year, especially with the lineup of games that Xbox already has, but with Fable being delayed, you kind of are starting to think this may be the one to fill the void, in that of Gears of War E-Day. It says this could be an unexpected hit, so be sure to keep an eye out. Gears of War E-Day is likely to appear as well, given that there have been rumors of it launching within the next calendar year. If this does happen, that would be wild. And it does look more and more like that could be the case with the whole Gears of War Reloaded and getting people kind of back into Gears, even though it is a second remaster of the first game. They're going to build that online community. They're going to build new fans from PlayStation 5 and everything. So now launching Gears of War E-Day with Gears of War being top of mind for a lot of gamers could make sense here if they do launch it in the last few months here of 2025. It would be incredible to see. I would drop everything to go ahead and play it because Gears is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I am crossing my fingers that this is something that we do get to see. 2025 has already been massive. If it doesn't happen, it's fine because I have so many games to play. But the rumors more and more are pointing towards this being the case, especially with them moving Fable out of 2025. They are going to fill the void one way or another, whether that is a first party title or that is going out there and getting more Game Pass deals. And I feel like that is going to be revealed here on June 8th. The other thing we may end up seeing is what is next here from Double Fine. We know that they have been working on projects and it looks like they may be ready to debut their title. And if you're a Final Fantasy fan on Xbox, we probably potentially, I'm not sure what is the best way to describe it, but maybe getting the announcements here for Final Fantasy 7 and 16 landing on the Xbox. It's just a matter of time. Those games are coming to Xbox. It's just a matter of time because we know Square Enix, their plan and what they want to do with their games and move away from console exclusivity. They want to go multi-platform. The reality is they're dealing with a contract right now. So whenever that contract allows them to put it on Xbox, I think it is going to land there. I feel like that is coming to an end here, and that will be something that does get announced. But again, we will see on June 8th. So that is some of the big things that we can expect. And there's obviously the other stuff that we will see. Game Pass announcements, features, probably a lot about the online games that they have, like the Elder Scrolls Online. So lots there that will be happening. But I think a lot of people still want to know about hardware. Will we see any next-gen hardware at this showcase? And I think the most common thing that people are expecting to see here is going to be Project Kennen, which is this thing here that has basically already been revealed. It was leaked, and it is the Asus ROG Ally made specifically for the Xbox ecosystem, has an Xbox button, has some Xbox handle-like controllers here on the sides, which I actually like that. People may think that's bulky, but I know from my style, I like bigger grips on these PC handles just because I have relatively bigger hands. And if it's too thin or it's not very big to grab onto, my hands fall asleep. It fell asleep with the Nintendo Switch. I had to get new Joy-Cons, bigger ones to play with. So hopefully this actually is something that does come out. But Project Kennen, we have seen a lot and heard a lot about it. Will they finally fully reveal this? And potentially, will they give us a little bit more insight about the future of Xbox creating their own console or their own first-party handheld? And will they show off operating system or something out there that really turns these handhelds into a console-like experience where you're not navigating a desktop Windows 11 to launch games and everything? They've made a ton of changes already with the Xbox PC app with the compact mode. And if you go into xbox.com/play, you go to the cloud gaming stuff. It works great. I mean, it's fine. And I like what they're doing there. They're continuously improving that and really making it more of a one-to-one experience between the console and wherever else you play Xbox. So will they expand on that, talk about more features, and show that off a bit more? Who knows, but it is coming up here, and I'm very, very excited for June 8th and the Xbox showcase. I will be streaming it, so definitely make sure to come by and watch with me. But Gears of War Day, if that does get announced, that is going to be crazy. The other game here, Everwild, is one that I do hope does show up. Well, apparently there is strong confidence in this game. This here says that this comes via Windows Central as well from Jez Coring, saying, my most recent inquiry suggests that the game is now on track and has strong confidence from Microsoft producers. We could potentially see Everwild at this show. So will Everwild show up? I have a feeling, like I said, it will end up showing up there, and that this game has really gone past where we were seeing a lot of articles come out, a lot of negativity surrounding it having to be rebooted. We also had Matt Booty kind of shut that down, saying that was over exaggerated. I feel like at this point they've moved past that and that they're getting closer and closer to be able to show this off. Now, one studio that I don't think we're going to see much from is going to be Machine Games. We did see this here pop up from Timur222. He found on LinkedIn that apparently Machine Games has actually canceled an unannounced project. So if they were going to show anything, maybe this was it. No idea what it is, but this is from a LinkedIn post. And you can see this person worked on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and they worked on a canceled unannounced project, whatever that may be. Could it be the Wolfenstein that they were working on? Who knows? but that's unfortunate that we won't really see anything from them, or at least it doesn't seem like we will. And I wonder if we'll ever find out what that unannounced project is. I hope the next thing they are working on is another entry into the Wolfenstein series. I feel like that is a no-brainer to do, but maybe that was something they were working on, got canceled, and they're moving on to another project that is completely different, such as Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, another something like that, an offset of what they were generally were making. So we'll see. But as of right now, something in the works is never going to be playable. Now, Xbox, they have added Copilot, and this basically just kind of helps you get through games, and you can ask it questions and it will give you that AI companion that basically everyone is working on here and trying to put out there in the tech world. And now it is live for testing, introducing the whole AI companion thing here. They say here, a couple of months back, Microsoft publicly announced the Copilot for Gaming program to the world. It's a new AI tool that allows players to directly ask for game help through the Xbox mobile app. And it is now being tested, saying in this early version, beta testers can ask Copilot about any games, including the game they're currently playing, or ask for help if they get stuck. It can also answer questions about their Xbox activity, like play history and achievements, or even provide recommendations of what to play next. Here are some of the questions that you can ask and that they will be able to answer. This one specifically saying, hey, Copilot, can you remind me what materials I need to craft a sword in Minecraft? And they tell you how to do that. You ask them what you should play tonight. If you like horror movies, any suggestions of games to play, or if you're looking for a new RPG, it will give you that type of answer. So it is being tested here in the early beta version in all of these following countries. We'll see how this does integrate and how useful it will be. I mean, the reality is a lot of people in today's day and age in gaming, they just go to YouTube or they go online if they get stuck to figure out how to get past a certain section in a game. This seemingly is just going to make it easier. You can kind of be lazier because you can just ask it and it's going to tell you exactly what to do without having to do really any research or combing through videos at the exact spot that you're in within the game. So all that will be interesting to see. I think people will use it. A lot of people are against AI in all forms of gaming, but I think something like this will be something that is utilized by a lot of gamers out there. Now, the Xbox Showcase isn't the only big one. Of course, Summer Games Fest is coming. You have Jeff Keighley's show here, which is always good. But I do think the Xbox Showcase has been better over the last number of years. But from the Summer Games Fest, you can kind of expect to get more big third-party stuff that is going to be coming out everywhere to play. Lots of big announcements. He usually has one or two just massive announcements at his show. And now we do see here the partners that are participating. And Nintendo is returning, which is a nice addition. It makes sense because the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out. Here are the partners. It's a pretty long list, so there's going to be lots of stuff to look forward to at this showcase. But some of the highlights here, you're going to have like 2K, 505 Games, Capcom. You're going to have Nintendo. PlayStation is going to be there. I wonder what they are going to be showing off, if it's going to be any big first-party stuff or just kind of a look of stuff that is already coming out, such as Ghost of Yotei. Sega is going to be there. Of course, Xbox is going to be there. You have Steam there, Square Enix. Like, there's a large list of stuff here. It looks like it is going to be a very, very good show, and I can't wait to jump in and see this one. I will be streaming this one as well, but there are record-setting 60-plus partners for this celebration here in June. So it's coming. We're a week away, basically, from one of the most exciting times to be a gamer, one of the most exciting times in the industry, where we start to see what is to come over the next number of years, what to look forward to the end of this year, going into 2026, and then sometimes even beyond that. A lot of games don't have release dates when they do show them off, so you can kind of assume it is beyond that, but there's always some massive stuff here that does end up dropping at these showcases. Another company who's really trying to get into gaming is Apple. They're taking somewhat of a different approach, or I think they're going more for like the smaller, more mobile soft games, which is a smart approach in my opinion, but they have come out here and they have bought their first game studio. They're getting in on the acquisition scene for gaming. They say, according to a new report from Giovanni Colantonio at Digital Trends, Apple has acquired RAC7 or RAC7, the studio behind Apple Arcade title Sneaky Sasquatch. And RAC7 is a two-person studio that also developed games like Dark Echo in 2015 and Splitter Critters in 2018. And Apple put out this message. We love Sneaky Sasquatch and are excited that the two-person RAC7 team has joined Apple to continue their work on it with us. We will continue to deliver great experience for Apple Arcade players with hundreds of games from many of the best game developers in the world. And apparently they are saying here the purchase is to help the team grow its game more on Apple Arcade. And I believe they're also saying this isn't something they're going to really do a lot of, which is these acquisitions, but this is the first one. They're also trying to kind of be more like Xbox with the Xbox gaming app, trying to follow in those lines. They say Apple's ready to replace Game Center with a more Xbox-like gaming app, specifically here saying that it will apparently replace Apple's Game Center feature editorial content and let you access games also available on the App Store. A 9to5 Mac report from last year described the app as working similarly to the Xbox app for iPhone. So they're trying to move more in that direction. Will they ever expand out past these smaller mobile games? I think especially right now with the way that the industry is going, you're seeing, or you saw companies want to move there. Then you saw all the layoffs. You've seen the profit margins harder to grow. You've seen it harder to make money overall in this industry with all the competition. You're seeing games fail and be canceled. That moving in like to a AAA space is pretty difficult here and probably not the best bet here. So Apple's probably just going to stick in what they know, which is going to be those smaller Apple Arcade style of games. If you're a fan of CD Projekt Red and games like The Witcher and Cyberpunk, the new ones are in development, of course. And now we fully know here that Cyberpunk 2 is in pre-production. They say CD Projekt Red is continuing to hire more developers to work on The Witcher 4, Cyberpunk 2, and other internal projects. During the company's Q1 2025 earnings report, it revealed the studio is up to 730 total developers, which is an increase from 707. So it's nice to see some studios actually hiring people, not just laying them off. And they also mention here that Cyberpunk 2 is in full pre-production. Specifically here saying as far as a breakdown, 422 of them are working on The Witcher 4, which will be the next game from the studio, but it won't be released earlier than 2027. And then after The Witcher 4, 96 developers are now working on Cyberpunk 2, which is an increase from 84 in February as the game has officially entered pre-production. So we got some big things coming here from CD Projekt Red. I just can't wait to see how these turn out, especially because they're probably going to be ending up on next-gen hardware on the next Xbox and PlayStation. So you can expect them to be pretty phenomenal. Hopefully they've learned their lesson from the release of Cyberpunk, which they tried to put onto the Xbox One and the PS4, which really hurt the initial launch of it because the games just did not perform well. We're also seeing them put Cyberpunk on the Nintendo Switch too. That is performing very well. Like it is looking quite good for relatively underpowered console, what they've been able to do with that game to have it running on the Nintendo Switch 2. One that if you're just a fan of the game, you may want to check it out and see kind of how it runs and stuff. I'm definitely going to look at these videos on that. May end up picking it up for the Switch 2 as well. So interesting stuff there. When it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, one of the biggest things here with them is going to be obviously their first party stuff. Pokemon is a massive, massive game for Nintendo. And it looks like here that we have the announcement for the release date of Pokemon Legends ZA, which is confirmed to be coming to the Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. It will be released here on October 16th. They say here that Pokemon Legends ZA hashtag Nintendo Switch 2 edition are launching on October 16th. So this means the one for the regular Switch and the Switch 2 edition. I wonder what the big upgrades will be between them, but this game should run better. One of the worst things here with the latest Pokemon games, which I have for the current Nintendo Switch, was just how badly that game ran and performed. But it's getting upgrades for the Switch 2. That's one that I'm probably going to check out and see the difference. Is it going to just be a much better experience here on the Switch 2? I have a feeling that it absolutely will. And finally, MindsEye. We talked about this yesterday. I was scratching my head about the marketing for it. This game looks cool. It's coming from people who have worked on GTA, and they could have done a really big marketing campaign around this and pushed this, and it just really hasn't been out there. The previews came out pretty negative simply because people thought this game needed to be delayed. It was not performing very well. Apparently, the CEO for this game is saying that people were paid to be negative towards the game. I don't know if I buy it, but that is what the CEO is saying. This is in a message posted on the game's Discord server. And this is the Build a Rocket Boy co-CEO Mark Gerhard, he believes that everyone saying negative things about the studio's upcoming game MindsEye are being paid to do so. Specifically, this is what he thinks, says all the people who reacted negatively were financed by someone. To that, he simply said 100%. And the server, seeing the questions and concerns about the claim, Gerhard posted a long message on the matter saying, I just said that there is a concerted effort by some people that don't want to see Leslie or Build a Rocket Boy be successful, that are making a concerted effort to trash the game and the studio. It's pretty easy to see the bots and the repeated replies to any content that we put out. He doesn't give any more context on this. It's basically his just thoughts. Technically, at this point, just a conspiracy because he doesn't have any proof as to whether that is happening or not. But I mean, you never know. I just don't really buy it. I mean, people went to previews and the previews came back from it and they said that the game just wasn't running very well, that it should have been delayed, at least from the stuff that I did see. So who knows? I have hopes for this one. It does look cool from the video that they just recently did put out. Looks like it's running a lot better than what we were hearing, but on the previews, but that could be just a specific vertical slice. That's very easy for a company to make it look better than it is. We've seen this happen multiple times within the industry. So this is one that's coming out soon. We don't have to wait very long for it. And we will know when it comes out, whether the previews and the people who are saying negative things about it were telling the truth or not. But on the video there, if you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.